Hi everyone. So as I've mentioned earlier in our meeting, I will be sending you a copy of the video discussion of Introduction to Contemporary Literature. So we will be just defining what is contemporary literature, yung mga characteristics ng contemporary styles, and konting run-through lang tungkol sa mga important or historical events during this period. So for our first slide, let's answer the question, what is contemporary literature? The literature of the contemporary period not only refers to a quality or style of writing but also to poetry and prose, which includes works of fiction such as novels, novellas, essays, and dramatic works. So pag sinabi natin contemporary style, hindi naman po kailangan na yung style mo rin ng pagsusulat is pang contemporary lang or yung recent. Kasi 'di ba kapag dinefine natin yung word na contemporary, ibig sabihin you are living or it is happening at current period. Okay? Kasi po nakapaloob din po under contemporary natin is yung poetry and prose natin. Which examples na nabanggit kanina is yung mga fictions natin. So, under contemporary literature, pwede nating pag-usapan yung mga napapanahon or things that is happening as of the moment or yung mga stories or mga random happenings na meron kayong dalawa as of the moment or nangyayari recently. So, let's come now sa characteristics of the contemporary style. So, aalamin lang natin dito kung ano yung mga characteristics na meron ng contemporary styles na pwede din natin i-adopt kapag tayo ay gagawa ng sarili nating piece. Okay, first off, reality-based stories. Pangalawa, believable storyline, sometimes portraying a harsher reality or degradation of society. Pangatlo, current, modern setting of course, dahil contemporary nga. Pang-apat is well-defined, realistic, highly developed and strong character or characters. Pang-lima, well-structured. Pang-anim, writing is more character-driven than plot-driven. Kung napapansin nyo yung mga characteristics ng ating contemporary style is parang totoo na. Kasi nga nasa contemporary world na tayo or nasa contemporary period na tayo, kailangan po hindi na pag-iiwanan nung kapanahunan yung ating mga stories or pieces na gagawin. As much as possible, very realistic dapat yung atake ng ating story or very dikit siya or parang totoong nangyayari talaga in real life yung inyong stories kapag fiction yung inyong gagawing piece. So, itong mga characteristics po ito, kailangan natin itong tandaan kapag tayo ay gagawa na ng short story. As I've mentioned kanina sa ating meeting, gagawa kayo ng inyong short story. So, pwede ninyong kuhaan ng ideas or gawin ng guide itong mga characteristics natin para mas mukhang realistic yung inyong story yung gagawin. Next slide, we will be talking about the historical events during this period. So, pag-uusapan lang naman natin or pahapyaw lang naman nating dadaanan yung mga historical events na nangyari during the contemporary period. Medyo mahaba-haba itong ating listahan ng mga historical events na nangyari during the contemporary period. So, January 1, 1953, the National Library established in Ottawa. September 3, 1962, the Trans-Canada Highway opens. February 15, 1965, Canada gets a new red and white maple leaf flag. And April 2, 1975, the CN Tower in Toronto becomes the world's tallest freestanding structure. Next is July 17, 1976, the Olympic Games are held in Montreal. June 27, 1980, O Canada is officially adopted as Canada's national anthem. April 12, 1980, Terry Fox begins his Marathon of Hope cross-country run. And 1989, $1 bill stopped being produced and are fully replaced by the loonie. And June 25, 1993, Kim Campbell becomes the first female Prime Minister of Canada. And January 4 to 9, 1998, the most destructive and disruptive ice storm in Canadian history occurs. So, yun lang po yung ating mga events during the contemporary period. So, kung napapansin nyo, hanggang recent po kasi yung contemporary period natin, actually nagbigin talaga siya ng 1946 and continuing to the present. So, from 1946 after World War II hanggang ngayon is contemporary period na po natin na tinatawag. So as I've mentioned, pahahapyawan lang natin yan kasi hindi naman siya part ng ating short storying discussion. Mga important events lang siya during the contemporary period. Genres of the period and topics that were written about in literature were largely influenced by the historical events which were taking place at the current time. A notable genre of the contemporary period which is still popular today is young adult or the YA. So, hindi ba natakil na natin last time yung tungkol sa mga genres ng ating fiction. And isa po dito yung young adult or YA which is naging pinaka-famous or naging pinaka-matunog during the contemporary period. So, yung YA natin, di ba, or yung young adult, it is a category of literature that is written for about the readers between ages 12 to 18. Kaya nga, napasok dyan yung mga sci-fi natin, yung mga romance, pwede din siyang pumasok dyan. And if I'm not mistaken, yung pinaka-famous na YA before is yung Harry Potter. Kasi yung mga bida doon is, yung mga age nila is nag-range ng 12 to 18 years old. And of course, madalas na nagiging topic ng mga contemporary writers natin is yung tungkol talaga sa historical events. Or kung hindi naman historical events, yung nagiging theme or yung nagiging content ng piece ng ating mga writers, nakafocus sila sa mga social issues na nangyayari sa panahon ngayon. Let's come now sa genres of contemporary literature. So as I've mentioned, medyo marami-rami sila pero we'll be focusing muna sa ating story kasi nga gagawa kayo ng inyong short story. Genres of this time included novels and poetry, flash fiction, short stories, slam poetry, plays, memoirs, and autobiographies were also popular during these days. Authors found inspiration in the events of the time period. They often wrote about the realities and experiences that had occurred, no matter how brutal they may have been. So katulad na nabanggit ko kanina sa ating previous slide, madalas na nagiging theme or kinukuhaan ng idea ng mga writers natin paggawa nila ng pieces is yung mga napapanahon, yung mga nangyayari as of the moment. Wala silang pake kung maging harsh ba yung magiging kalabasan ng kanilang piece or ng kanilang story. Basta, ang main purpose lang nila is ma-educate or ma-share ang kanilang knowledge tungkol sa nangyayari as of the moment. Para if ever dumating tayo sa future, sabihin natin, yung mga readers natin na makakabasa ng mga contemporary periods natin, ng mga pieces, is magiging aware kung ano yung nangyari during that exact time or period. The literary innovations of this period were largely influenced by the surroundings and the changes that were occurring in it. So yung ating mga pieces na ginagawa, nagiging big influence kung ano yung nangyayari sa ating surroundings. Isa siyang big part kung paano tayo makakapag-create ng ating piece, ng ating contemporary piece. Given naman na sa ating quotation dyan sa ating slide, na malaking impluensya ang ating kapaligiran sa paggawa ng contemporary literature or ng mga pieces natin. Okay, so now naman po, let's go to story. Ngayon naman ay i-define natin yung story, yung mga types ng stories na meron tayo, and ang importance ng story. And also, kung ilan nga ba ang minimum at maximum words ng ating short story. So, story or narrative is a connected series of events told through words, written or spoken, imagery, still and moving, body language, performance, music, or any other form of communication. Pwede tayong gumawa or pwede tayong makapag-share ng story natin sa iba't ibang paraan kung paano tayo makipag-communicate. Nakadepende na po yan sa inyo kung paano kayo mag-relay or mag-share ng stories na inyong gagawin. You can tell a story about anything, and the events described can be real or imaginary, covering both fiction and non-fiction, and leaving no topic, genre, or style untouched. There are stories about all things and all times, past, present, and future. We are all aware naman na kung ano yung meaning ng story as is. Kasi nga po, since elementary naman, natatakal na natin or natuturo na sa atin kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng story. And sa story natin, kapag tayo ay gagawa na ng story, pwede pong mag-i-imagine lang kayo ng inyong mga characters or gagawa kayo ng mga fictional characters or fictional events. Pwede din naman pong gagawa kayo ng short story or ng story ninyo na meron talagang literal na pinagkuhaanan or pinagkuhanan ng impluensya or ng theme sa base sa inyong real life events. Pwede kayong gumawa ng stories about your present, yung nangyayari sa buhay nyo ngayon. Pwede kayong gumawa ng story way back. Or pwede nyong isabuhay yung buhay ni Maria Clara, ganong level ng way back. Pwede din kayong gumawa ng stories about future. Parang sci-fi na, gawin yung sarili nyong bida, tapos lumilipad kayo na may sasakyan. Ganong klaseng story po. Whenever you're telling somebody about a series of events, you are telling a story, no matter what the subject nor when they occurred. As such, stories are of great value to human culture and are some of the oldest, most important parts of life. Stories din po na matatawag kapag nagchichika ka sa iyong best friend, sa iyong classmates na kunyari, ngayon magchichika ka kung ano yung nangyari sa buhay mo nung nag-meet kayo ng crush mo. And then, next day, i-update mo yung iyong friend kung ano naman yung nangyari again sa buhay ninyo tungkol ng crush mo. That is considered as a story. Very important yung mga stories natin, yung mga short stories natin na nagagawa. Pero, meron pa ring disadvantage yung mga stories natin. Kasi kahit anong importante ng ating mga stories, kailangan pa rin natin alamin or i-distinguish yung mga stories na fiction or non-fiction. You have to make sure na totoo nga ba yung mga sinasabi ng isang tao. Kasi nga nabanggit dito sa ating slide na isa siyang parte ng ating human culture. Isa siyang part ng ating buhay. Pero, kailangan natin i-identify kung yung parte ba na ipapasok mo sa buhay mo na story is totoo or gawa-gawa lang. You should be able to identify or distinguish the difference between fiction and non-fiction, of course. Alam naman natin yung difference ng dalawa. Kailangan mo din pong intindihin kung nagsisinungaling na ba yung story na naririnig mo or hindi. That is to avoid the spreading of fake news or the chismis. Aside from being a part of every single type of literature, stories are at the foundation of creativity and part of just about everything we do, particularly when it comes to entertainment, recording, and reporting of any form. So, hindi tayo nakakalabas ng bahay na wala tayong ikikwento. Hindi tayo nakikipag-meet up sa ating mga friends just to catch up na parang, "Hoy, hello, kumusta?" Kasunod niyan po is, ano yung mga naganap sa buhay. So, yan po yung stories natin. That is another part of story, another kind of story. We tend to share stories or makipagkwentuhan as a part of our life na. Okay, ginagawa natin siya as entertainment. Ginagawa natin siya para magkaroon ng idea yung ating kausap tungkol sa nangyayari sa buhay natin. Nabanggit yan sa slide natin yung reporting of any form. So sa stories natin, habang nagsishare ka nga ng buhay mo sa iyong kausap or habang sinishare mo yung nangyayari or nangyari sa buhay mo, para kang nagre-report, para kang nagsasabi ng mga kaganapan mo in real life pero hindi written. Kasi 'di ba, very known na sa atin na kapag story is binabasa natin. Again, nabanggit natin kanina sa ating previous slide na yung mga stories natin is pwede siyang written or spoken. So if you're sharing your story, you're like reporting your life to that particular person. In one form or another, stories have been a part of human culture and society for thousands of years, likely since man has existed. They're found in the past and present of people from every culture, religion, and ethnicity, in every region and language. Tingin nyo, paano tayo magiging aware kung ano yung nangyari nung nakaraang panahon kung hindi dahil sa mga kwento-kwento? Written man yan or spoken. Paano mo malalaman na yung kanunuan nyo is 5 feet ang katangkad tapos ikaw naging 4'11 lang or 4 flat? Paano mo malalaman na may lahi kayong ganyan, may lahi kayong ganito kung hindi dahil sa mga kwento na sinasabi o mga stories na sinasabi sa iyo ng inyong parents? Marami tayong malalaman because of stories. Kasi nga po, maraming form yung ating stories. And again, parte na siya ng pagkatao ng isang tao. Nag-i-exist na ang stories way back pa. Kaya nga nagkakaroon tayo ng mga kwento-kwento o nagkakaroon tayo ng mga informations na nakakalap natin because of reading a particular information or hearing the kwentos or stories of the people. Some would say that life is made up of a series of never-ending stories. From a simple commute to school or work to all the events of our lives, everything has a story. Yung buhay po ninyo ngayon, pwede siyang story. MMK, mga ganyang level. Kasi po, yung parte ng buhay natin is a story. As I've mentioned, hindi mo kailangan i-reach ang specific amount ng number of words para maging story yung specific na kaganapan. Though if we're going to base on the average length talaga ng short story, between 5K to 10K words talaga siya. Pero, your everyday is a story. Simula ng pagkagising mo sa umaga, breakfast, maliligo, papasok sa school, that is a story. Bawat oras ng buhay mo actually is story. Meron siyang storying kailangan i-share, meron siyang storying kailangan pahalagahan. Ganyan kalawak ang form ng short story or ng story itself. Now, after defining what is story, dito naman tayo dumako sa types of stories. So, familiar na kayo kasi na-discuss naman natin ito nung mga previous discussions natin. Let's just elaborate more or give some examples na lang dito sa ating types of stories. The range of types of stories is pretty much endless. For that reason, this article will divide stories into two broad categories, the fiction and the non-fiction, which is again na topic na natin ng previous discussions. Let us come sa fiction stories. So let's define fiction stories first and then I'll be giving some examples. So, fiction stories are based on made-up or imaginary events. There are dozens upon dozens of types of fiction stories and genres. Yung previous discussion nga natin, na-define natin kung anong ibig sabihin ng fiction and paulit-ulit po nating binasa or pinag-aralan na made-up lang ang ating mga fictional stories. Gamit siya ng mga imaginary events. Though, as I've mentioned pa rin, pwede tayong kumuha ng idea or ng inspiration based on real-life events natin. Pero, para maging fictional story siya, you have to make keme-keme some particular series of events. Gagawa kayo ng mga imaginary or situations na hindi naman talaga nangyari in real life. So, ganyan po gumawa ng mga fictional stories natin. More on invento yung ating fiction stories. So, I have here examples of fiction stories natin. Fairy tales, folklore, mythology, legends, epics, dramas, adventure stories, historical fiction, fantasy, science fiction, love stories, horror stories, ghost stories, and bedtime stories. So, yan po yung mga examples ng mga fiction stories natin na pwede din yung gawan if gusto ninyong gumawa ng fictional stories ninyo. After fiction stories, of course, meron tayong non-fiction stories. So, non-fiction stories can cover any kind of real-life event or experience. So, ito naman yung kaibahan ng ating fiction and non-fiction. Kung yung fiction natin is made up, gawa-gawa, imbento-imbento. Sa non-fiction naman po, it is based on facts, real-life events or happenings, and real people. Hindi na tayo pwedeng magkeme-keme or umimbento sa ating non-fiction rather, stories. Sa non-fiction, kailangan real life na po. Nangyayari, totoong buhay, nag-i-exist yung iyong character, hindi pwedeng gagawa-gawa ka lang, hindi pwedeng mag-iimbento ka. Kailangan, under non-fiction stories natin, mayroon kang legit na character na nag-i-exist in real life. Also, we have some examples naman po na magpo-fall under the category of non-fiction stories. So, we have historical events, news and current events, biographies and autobiographies, memories and experiences, cultural history, crime and justice, science, love, family, travel stories, survivor stories, and war stories. Kung napapansin po ninyo sa ating non-fiction stories, is lahat po based on real events, real people. Okay, nakafocus po tayo sa mga stories na based on facts. Ibig sabihin, nangyayari talaga in real life. Let's come now to the importance of the story. So, bakit nga ba natin kailangan pag-aralan ng story? Kung nangyayari lang naman siya everyday, yung buhay natin is story, bakit importante ang story? Stories have been and always will be an absolute essential part of human culture. Nabanggit na natin kanina, since everyday nga natin is a story, is considered as a story, naging big part na po siya sa kultura ng isang tao. Stories are how we learn about each other, our past, and our cultures. Whether they are created for entertainment or to recount a real-life event, new stories are literally being lived, told, and created every second of every day. Malaking parte ng buhay ng isang tao ang story. Yung story yung nagiging way para makilala mo ang isang tao. Yung classmate mo, hindi mo naman in-expect na magiging close kayo, di ba? Hindi mo naman in-expect na magkakaroon kayo ng bond. Pero nalalaman mo kung ano yung nangyari sa buhay niya. And that is because you both are sharing your stories to each other. Kaya nalaman mo na ganyan yung ugali niya, ganyan siya mag-act, kasi nga po, na-share niya na sa inyo. Kumbaga nagkwentuhan na kayo, nag-share na kayo ng story ng bawat isa. Yan ang isang rason kung bakit importante ang story. Pero of course, if you're going to be sharing your life stories, your non-fiction stories, you have to make sure naman po na you are sharing those stories sa taong mapagkakatiwalaan. Yung hindi ka sisirain, yung hindi two-faced. Kasi another naman po na struggle kapag nag-share tayo or nag-overshare tayo is very open tayo in public. Magiging alam na ng isang taong yan yung move mo kasi nga you are very open. Para kang libro, nakabukas ka para sa lahat. Yes, stories can help us learn about the ugali of that particular person. Pero, as I've mentioned, may mga disadvantages din po kapag nag-overshare na, yung oversharing na tinatawag natin. Yes, parte siya sa kultura ng isang tao. Naging parte na lamang siya sa kultura ng isang tao kasi nga yung previous slide natin nabanggit po doon na nag-exist na yung stories the moment na nag-exist din po yung tao. Pero, we should be careful on what we share sa kung sino-sinong tao na nakakasalamuhan natin. Kasi may mga taong worth it or capable mapagsabihan ng life stories, pero may mga taong gagamitin yung mga sinishare mo against sa'yo. So, stories are a major part of everyday aspect of our lives. From what we read, to what we do, to what we talk and think about. They're also crucial to our understanding of history and culture and have been recorded and passed on since man's earliest days. Stories have always been and will always be at the core of not only literature but life. What you are learning is a story. What I am telling you now is a story. Basically, your whole life is a story. So that's why stories are very important to your lives. So you have to make sure as the author, kasi naging writer ka na, you're not aware pero writer ka na po ng iyong buhay because your buhay is a story. You are writing your life. You are writing your future, kumbaga. So, you have to make sure na yung alam mo kasi nating stories is palagi na lang happily ever after yung ending. Ikaw yung gagawa ng buhay mo, ikaw yung gagawa ng story mo. So, you have to make sure na ang ending din po ng iyong buhay is happily ever after. Kaya sabi nga ng last line natin sa ating slide, stories have always been and will always be at the core of not only literature, kasi hindi lang naman po siya sa literature importante, pati din po sa buhay. So yan ang importansya ng story sa ating buhay. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So our next slide, our last slide actually, is just the content of a short story in the flash fiction. So, a short story po is generally considered to be at least 1,000 words, but the average length is between 5,000 minimum and 10,000 words maximum. So, nabanggit ko na po kanina sa ating meeting na you are going to create your own short story. Yung i-follow natin is yung average length. So, gagawa kayo ng short story ninyo na may minimum of 5,000 words and maximum of 10,000 words. Okay. Wala tayong specific theme. Kayo ang gagawa ng story, so kayo ang magde-decide kung anong flow ng story mo. Kung horror ba yung gusto mo or yung cliche na love story. Kayo po ang bahala dahil kayo yung magiging author. Also, dediretso na lang din po tayo sa flash fiction. So, you are going to create your own flash fiction po. Short story lang din naman po siya na may 500 words or less. So, mas madaling gawin yung flash fiction kasi konti lang siya compared sa ating short story. Pero you are going to pass your whims po on Tuesday para i-check ko na po. Kapag may draft na kayo, walang problema. I'll be checking that also. Pero if you're still writing, wala din pong problema dahil hindi pa naman po tayo magde-deadline. Titingnan ko lang po if may whims na kayo at nakapagsimula na kayong gumawa ng short stories ninyo. So, that is it. This is the last slide of our discussion and I hope may naintindihan ko sa discussion natin ngayon. That's all for today. Bye-bye.